gonna do a supportive for the low back flow. And you can do this whether you have a tender low back or not. It's just gonna be mindful of being supportive of the low back. A lot of people have been expressing low back pain or tenderness. So thematically, or intentionality, is allowing ourselves to feel supported. And sometimes we wish we had that in more earthly human forms. However, human support is fallible. You know, we're all human. And so really connecting to and drawing from, receiving from universal support and guidance will be our theme for the day in this flow. Okay? So first of all, you want to sit up on something so that you can tilt your pelvis forward so you can keep a little bit of an arch in your low back. So sometimes it's helpful to lean forward initially and kind of scoot your sitting bones back. And you want to sit up on something, so a couple of blankets or bolster, and then you want to tilt the pelvis forward just a little bit so that you can root into the ground and catch the yielding, rebounding effect back up through your spine so that you're straight without tension, right? You're not propping yourself up, you're using that grounding to yield a rebounding that comes back up. Okay, so we'll come to seated. Take a deep breath, feel the belly and chest expand as you breathe in. And feel the shoulders relax as you breathe out. Inhale, belly and chest expands. Exhale, shoulders relax, mind empties. Let's take 3 more breaths. Inhale fully and then pause. And then exhale, empty. And pause. One more time. Bring the hands to the heart, just asking yourself what your intention for this practice is. And then intend it to be so. Releasing the hands, opening the eyes. We're going to come to all fours. And sit back into child's pose. Keeping a little bit of arch in the low back. And if it's too much to bring your head to the ground, bring your head to a block. Open the knees if they're together and weave the left arm underneath the right armpit. And then come back to center and weave the right arm underneath the left armpit. I like to rest my head on my other hand. One more breath. And then unwind, come to center. Maybe go across your temple for forehead side to side. And then we'll come up to all fours. And we'll curl the toes and we'll lift into downward facing dog, keeping the knees bent so that little bit of arch stays in the low back and keeping the elbows micro bent as well. Rooting into the ground, letting that lengthen your back. And then we'll come forward into plank and you can lower the knees down for back support, but strengthening the belly helps the back. So soften the elbows, knees up or down, and breathe. And you can feel the difference and decide which one. And then lower the knees and elbows bend in. We're gonna push up down to the ground. And then uncurl the toes and pretend like you have a block between your thighs. That'll stabilize the back. And then lift up, low cobra, lengthening the spine as you strengthen it. And then exhale, lower down. This time slide the elbows out to the side. No fingertips. Elbows up and back. Lift up, low cobra. Dip the left shoulder, look over the right. Come to center. Dip the right shoulder, look over the left. And do that one more time. And then lower down, curl the toes, lift to all fours, press into the ground, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Look forward, walk your feet towards the front. Use blocks for support. Lengthen, breathe in. Bend the knees generously as you fold forward, breathing out. So you can rest your belly all the way on your thighs if that's better for your back. And then use the legs, so bend your knees. We're gonna come all the way up to standing. Use your legs, reach your arms up, opening to receive. Bring the hands down to the heart. You wanna keep the knees micro bent. Roll the thighs back, draw the tailbone forward, feel your belly, and then root into the ground and let it make you tall and rooted. I don't know what I was gonna say. Strong. Strong too, right? You can feel your legs and your belly connects down, and then there's that rebounding that lifts you back up. All right, inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Generous bend in the knees to tend to the back, folding forward. Inhale, expand, use blocks if that helps. Exhale, with or without blocks, step back, downward facing dog, keeping the knees bent, coming forward into plank. Knees up or down, and then lower down knees, chest, or through a push-up. All the way to your belly. Uncurl the toes, lift up, baby cobra, lengthening the back muscles as you strengthen them. Hold the imaginary block between your thighs. Lower down, curl the toes, lift up, downward facing dog. And then walk your feet back up towards the front. Lengthen, inhale. Bend the knees, fold, forward, exhale. Use the legs all the way up, inhale. Samasthiti, hands to your heart. Soften the knees, spread the toes, feel the legs. Open the chest. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, expand. Exhale, downward facing dog. Keep a little bit of arch in your back, coming forward into plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, all fours. Use your lower belly. Lift you up and back. Downward facing dog. And breathe. Look forward. Walk the feet towards the front. Lengthen, inhale. Fold, exhale. Bend the knees. Use the legs. Inhale, up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bow forward. Expand, breathe in. This time we'll step back into plank and lower down, knees, chest, or chaturanga. Cobra, probably if you have a tender low back. Upward dog if it feels good and you want to. Use your lower belly, lift you up and back, downward facing dog. And breathe. And then look forward, walk your feet towards the front, lengthen, inhale. Fold, exhale, bend the knees, root to rise, inhale. Exhale, hands to your heart. Remember your intention. Breathe in. Breathe out everything that gets in the way of that. All right, let's do one more. Inhale, reach. Remember all the modifications. Folding forward, lengthen. Step back and lower down. Cobra, upward facing dog. Don't lock out the joints. Downward facing dog. And breathe. Extend the right leg up. And then step the right foot up between your hands. If you want, you can pause with your knee into belly and strengthen a little bit there, and then step it forward, or you can step it straight up. High lunge, lifting up. So for some people, straightening the back leg is a little bit too much for the back, so if it feels better, you can bend the knee. I personally like the hip flexor stretch, so I straighten mine. And then we'll reach the arms up, but relax the shoulders down. And then we're going to lower the left hand to a block under the left shoulder and reach the right arm up towards the ceiling and twist. And then we're going to lower the right hand. We're going to bring the left heel to the ground and cartwheel it up into warrior two. So your right heel's in line with your left arch. Your arms are outstretched, or you can add an arm variation like wrapping the right elbow on top of the left, which is my fave. So you want to keep the back knee micro bent so you can use both legs. Just feel yourself rooting from your belly down through your legs, and then rising from your belly up through the crown of the head. And then we'll release the arms, and we'll straighten the front leg, and we'll reach forward, and then we'll lower the right hand to your leg or to a block, and we'll come into triangle. Same thing, you want to micro bend both knees, and then root into the ground, and let your body find its alignment from that rebound that comes. So the left hip can come forward or it can open up. See how it feels for your back or your body. And then bend the front knee so you can lift back up. And then turn the right toes in and fold forward. So if the hamstrings are tight, you want to open your feet wider apart. If they're not, you bring them closer together and you'll get more extension in your spine. Ollie just snores away. Okay, so we're going to lift up onto the left hand and reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. Sometimes it's easier on the back if you bend that right knee, so you can check it out and decide which one. I just love this twist. Am I the only one that loves this twist? It feels so good in my back. And then exhale the right hand down and the left arm up. Remember, you can bend the left knee if it feels better. And then exhale the left hand down. Okay, so we're going to walk back towards the front, rotate the hips and the feet towards the front, and then we're going to step back into plank. Knees up or down, and breathe. And then we're going to come into a side plank. So we're going to flex the right foot, and we're going to flex the left foot on the floor in front, and reach the left arm for maximum back care. You can also lower the right knee if this is too much. And then we'll come to plank, and we'll go left side, side plank. And then we'll come to plank. Remember not to lock out the elbows. Exhale, lower down, knees, chest, or chaturanga. Cobra, upward facing dog, breathing in. Lower belly lifts you up and back, downward facing dog. Extend the left leg up. And then step it forward, or you can pause with your knee into your belly for a breath or two. And then step it forward. High lunge, lifting up. Remember, you can bend the back knee if that feels better. Shoulders relaxed. And then lower the right hand to your block and reach the left arm up. Belly expands on the inhale. and contracts on the exhale as that left hip draws back. So you're strengthening your core with every breath that way. And then unwind. Rotate your right heel to the ground. Cartwheel it up, warrior two. Arms outstretched or left elbow on top. And then reach the arms. Straighten the front leg. Reach forward, open out triangle. I like to shorten my stance just a little bit. Soften the knees, root into the ground. Soften the front knee, come up. Turn the left toes in, exhale, fold forward, or you can interlace your hands behind your back or the back of your neck. Release the hands down, lengthen up, walk back towards your left foot, lunge, and then step back, plank. Right side, side plank, left foot on the floor in front. Left side, side plank. And then back to plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise. Cobra if you're tending to your low back. Upward dog if it feels good. Downward facing dog. And then lower to the knees and sit up on a block or two. And just feel the energy that you've generated in your body. Let the exhale all the way out start to calm and cool you. We'll sit up on a blanket and we'll bring the soles of the feet together and the knees out to the side or on blocks. And then we'll scoot the inner thighs back and we'll lengthen and we'll stay here to whatever degree folding forward. You can lean into a bolster. Remember, you want to keep a little bit of an arch in the back, so stretching as you fold. And once you find an edge, you want to build some support. So put a block or 2 blocks in a bolster. One more breath. Slowly lift up. Lift the knees. And windshield wiper them from side to side. And then we're going to roll down onto our backs and have a block within reach. If you want to put a blanket under your head, sometimes it's nicer for the neck. Alright, so we're going to lift the shins, cross the ankles, interlace the hands behind the head, and then we'll curl the shoulders and the head up and inhale back down. Exhale, support your neck, lift the shoulders and the head, feel your core. Inhale, release, and we'll go for about a minute. If you don't have tender low back and you want to lift your tailbone, you'll get more of your lower belly, so that's an optional. So. Switch the cross of your ankles for the last half a minute. Two more. I can't talk while I'm doing this. And then release and hug your knees in. I was teaching a teacher training and they were like, now how do you breathe and talk at the same time? And I really had to think about it. You don't. You say inhale and then you inhale. Then you say exhale and then I exhale. But there are certain poses that are harder to breathe and talk in. Okay, so we're going to bring our feet to the ground and let me see here. We're going to do a hip stretch so it's easy for the low back. So we'll thread the needle. We'll flex the right foot on the left knee and left foot can stay down on a block or in the air. If you want to weave your hands through, you can. And sometimes it feels good to rock back and forth a little bit. Two more breaths. And then release. Other side. Flex the left foot on the right knee. Thread the needle. If you want to rock side to side, you can. And then just relax into it. Two more breaths. And then release. You can windshield wiper the knees side to side. Okay, so we're going to reach for our block and lift our hips and slide it underneath the low back. You can keep your feet on the ground, but you can do a supported shoulder stand by lifting your feet up. And sometimes it's easier to keep the knees bent so you can feel it out. And sometimes I even like to bend the knees and kind of rock side to side and massage my back. So if that feels good, you can do that. And then just bend your knees and bring your feet back down to the ground. And then lift your hips and slide your block out. Bring your knees together and your feet wide. And then step the feet hip distance. For more back support, you can put a block between the knees. We'll scoop the hips to the right and lower the knees to the left. You don't have to use a block if you don't want. Obviously, you don't have to. Seems like a good pose to stretch and yawn a little bit. And slowly come back to center. Reset your hips. And then scoot your hips to the left and lower your knees to the right. I actually find it easier to relax into a twist without the block, so experiment. And then take 2 more breaths. And go ahead and rotate back to center. And then hug the knees into your belly. Or happy baby. And then we're going to set up for Shavasana. So what I recommend is 2 blocks and a bolster, or 3 blocks, depending on how many blocks you have. And then put your legs up on the bolster, your calves, and lie back. And you can put a blanket over you or not, eye pillow, whatever makes you comfortable. Just close your eyes. And let yourself feel supported by the earth and the universe. rise and fall of your belly and chest as you breathe. Feel that you're supported by the ground, by a regulated nervous system, by your breath. By the universe. Say things internally, or you can say them out loud, as often as possible, such as the universe has my back. Life is always working out for me. I am loved. I am loved and supported and guided by the universe. Because a belief is just a thought repeated over and over and over again. And when you realize that, you can just choose what makes you feel better and say it over and over again until you believe it. The universe has my back. Life is always working out for me, even when it doesn't seem like it is. I am loved and supported and guided by the universe. I am open to receive the infinite love, support, and guidance of the universe. And then wiggle and stretch. Or snore. Ollie. Ooh. And then we're going to roll to our side. And we'll come up to seated. And we'll close our eyes again. And then lean forward, scoop the sitting bones back, and then walk your hands onto your legs or in your lap. Take a couple of slow, deep breaths. Remember your intention and feel it now. Bring the hands together at the heart, bow the mind to your body, give thanks to your body and yourself. Namaste. Releasing the hands in the eyes. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. And you feel supported and guided and loved by the universe. See you next time.